health of this family, the health of this community, rested on the fact that they got sun and rain to raise these crops. God is not picking and choosing which families are going to get sun and rain. Now, you might follow God and your neighbor doesn't, but he's going to get the sun and rain necessary for his crops to grow. You might follow God and your neighbor doesn't, but they might get the promotion. Like, God is impartial as he gives common goodness to all people. He provides the means and the ability for even your enemies to get jobs, to do well, to take further steps in their advancement. He provides the means and the ability for unbelievers to have good marriages and kids that love them. Like, he provides common graces to all people. And yet here there's even more that I think Jesus is showing us here. He's impartial with his common goodness. He gives it to all. But to fully appreciate what Jesus is doing here, I want to read to you a couple Old Testament texts. There's just really quickly, I'm going to go through these. One of the text that Jesus is quoting from in our text is Leviticus 19, 17 through 18. Whole story of base. It says this: "You shall not hate your brother in your heart, but you shall reason frankly with your neighbor, lest you incur sin because of him. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." Now, if you want to get to more specifics of loving your neighbor, I would encourage you to go read that whole passage, that whole section, starting in verse 9. God gives a list of ways they're going to show real acts of kindness to one another.